going on? WWE Superstar and the host of Up, Up, Down, Down, Austin Creed, WWE Superstar Cesaro, and we are here in Shanghai at the LPL Studios. Let's go! Do it!
Hello， 各位观众朋友，欢迎收看今天的英雄联盟2019职业联赛。今天是季后赛的第一天，在我身边的两位是 WWE 的超级摔角巨星，今天加入我们的转播阵容，一起来收看今天的季后赛第一天 EDG 跟苏女的对决。
There's some cool stuff going on. If you haven't seen our activation with WWE, of course, Austin Creed here in Cesaro, making their presence known, I said, in Shanghai, as they're currently at the venue in Hongqiao, enjoying Suning versus EDG. It's cool to have some talent here. Cool to see our talent on the Rift as well. Cool to see you, my talented friend and Clement Chu. I'm Hysterics, maybe not as talented as him, but I can say one thing. I predicted MVP. That is my special power of this game. Not that it was very hard when Jinoo kicked so much ass that his bag is overflowing with whatever kind of oranges are going on there. He's our MVP. Bring it up.
I'm not sure how you get oranges by kicking ass, but sure, whatever.
Wow. 42% damage, Clement.
Gold difference at the end, 7.3k. What the hell? I'm not even sure Maple got that much gold in that game.
Nope. That was a Gangplank game. And those were the chances.
Yeah. Now, this is something I fault Maple for. Look at as he walks back for that melee minion. Really not worth it.
No.
Really not worth it.
Now, observer bug aside, it came to the point where Jinoo was so far ahead, solo kill after solo kill, and then this happened. The unkillable Gangplank, who just took on the world.
It honestly felt like iBoy didn't get to play the game after this one. He was like, where are Suning members? I just don't see them on the map anymore.
It was so unfair. I mean, Maple as well.
That was a good flash, though. And finally, the raid boss battle where 4 people go up against Jinoo, and look at Smlz's HP bar.
Just from the cannon barrage, the barrel chain. This was a Jinoo game if I've ever seen it. And what did you say before we went to break, Clement? You said you haven't seen a top lane smash like that in the history of your casting, or at least for a very long time.
No, I have not seen it. I've been casting the LPL since the start of 2018. Nothing like this has ever happened so far. The difference is just massive. And we have to be fair to Maple. He does not naturally play this lane.
No, he doesn't.
Only started playing top lane since week 7 of the regular season so far. And now is the question of how do Suning answer towards Jinoo. And surprisingly enough, Suning are selecting red side themselves.
So this is a question mark, isn't it? Because what you and I were saying is that the Sylas first pick, the potential to really get down that strong solo lane for Suning was a priority, but they've opted into red side, a side that has hurt them.
Yeah, and I have to say, just this is a much more conservative approach coming in from Suning, meaning that they just want to counter pick against Jinoo, making sure that top lane does not collapse entirely.
Yep.
And they better have some good champions for this. Looking at iBoy and Meiko stats from the last game, they did great in the bottom side. iBoy had that great 1v3 outplay in the bottom tower where he was able to pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, we forgot about, I mean, it's hard when a Gangplank takes over the game like that to really remember what happened on the bottom side of the map. But you're right, it was that cool 2v3 dive.
EDG were bot lane was a key component in that win because they were able to withstand the onslaught and make sure that Suning could not come back on the other side of the map.
No options, that's right.
Very important there. And Scout had a very quiet game. I don't even remember seeing Scout throughout that entire
Do you remember his champion, Clement?
It was Azir, yeah, he picked something.
Ah, that's probably why. No more Azir, Corky. Throw it in the bin. Although, at this point, for Suning, you might have to pick it back out because this is it. Match point for EDG, and after that, your momentum, your feelings, they're going to be thrown away as well.
No substitutions coming in from Suning. They do not have that top laner in their lineup. And Fluidwind looks like he's taking this one lightly. Still smile on his face.
He's going, try as you might.
Yep.
let's just get in a good performance, and that's what Suning need to get us to a Game 5. Now, the ban styles again, Clement. We've got very similar bans across the board, and 4th time in a row, EDG are like, hey, we like Gragas.
Right,
And,
Angel's happy as well.
We're back to normal.
It's got his Akali. So what we've seen here is either the Jace or the support being selected.
You know what's going to come out? It's going to be the Kai'Sa here. Yep. And now from Suning, what we're going to see is the Nautilus.
Really don't need Rastradamus here.
No. So Nautilus or maybe Leona. Oh, really? Okay. I'll stop.
Okay, so the Aatrox having them consider having a better lane here, but it does open up another bag of worms where potentially Jinoo could get the counter pick. So what Suning are saying right here is at least the Aatrox we can play in both lanes. Now, before this series actually started, we didn't actually see Maple ever play Aatrox into the top side.
We did not.
So that was a question mark that we had, but now it's confirmed they can play both champions in both lanes.
It's funnily enough because we've seen Angel, whose name really hints towards Aatrox, picking it up quite a bit. As
no more Gangplank
Gangplank is gone, Clement. Gangplank is gone.
I'm not concerned.
I'm not
for Jinoo
surprised.
whatsoever.
I'm
Jinoo
not
still has
surprised.
12 other champions he can pick from. He's been doing really well on the Camille and the Jax split as well. Both are
Camille,
open.
Jax. You know, he's got the Riven pocket pick if he wants to style his way towards a potential win.
So again, Suning setting up for a 1-3-1. And I like this Leona ban. This is something that EDG missed in their earlier game.
Yep. Pick that Meiko's actually been playing a lot as well, so now that he's got the Rakan, he doesn't want to face into that here in Game 4. But Suning, do they pick up that jungle now or wait for...
This is a weird laugh from SMLZ. I'll almost never see him smile.
If he's smiling, must be important. This is an SMLZ Sejuani.
Okay, so the Sejuani is more known for being a team fight pick in the LPL rather than having a good way in terms of the ganking. Camille, Jax, those are the two picks we've been talking about, both flashed by EDG.
Yep.
And I kind of wonder about this, because for me, if Suning are running the 1-3-1, they need some good early ganking options. I actually prefer the Jarvan or even the Lee Sin from Hacker.
Do you like the Aurelia thought? I don't want to see Cannon. After that game, you want to see...
Come on, lock it in.
You want to see the best of Jinoo.
All right, everyone might know the Shy as the Riven god, but Jinoo is one of the top 3 as well. He's very well known for his Riven.
I like the Camille just as much though, Clement. I'll take that any day here from Jinoo. They're in very good spirits.
Yes, that's always something that I cherished about the old Flash Wolves members, is at least they kept their spirits up.
Yeah, that must be some like a real nostalgia for you. Do you get nostalgia watching Suning here, like seeing SwordArt's face and Maple as well?
Sometimes you just, you feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel if you stay happy and positive, but then you realize it's just an incoming train, and the train has Jinoo on it.
That got dark very quickly, Clement.
I'm sorry,
very quickly. That was so depressing. Oh my dear lord, this is why you and I don't cast together.
But hey,
we're not allowed.
We finally get to see Camille. This is the big pick that we've been talking about in the pregame, in the first two games. The champion that Suning did not want to see fall into Jinoo's hands. He's finally gotten it, and I want to see how far he can get ahead with ganks going his way.
And this time, the Camille's ability to find herself ahead in the lane. You know that the potential's higher than the Gangplank as well. So let's see how the lane goes and who's going to be facing him. Because 3 out of 3 games, it's been Angel. Sorry, it's been Maple up in that top lane, excuse me. Maple, who's been facing up against Jinoo. And after that last game, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it swapped around.
So we really have to think of it in terms of the matchups towards the top side. You have Camille versus Aatrox. Camille is considered somewhat of a counter, but if the Aatrox can freeze the wave, then it's, it goes back and forth essentially. So you can freeze the wave, have a larger minion wave on your side, and if Camille comes in, you can out-trade her with the minion damage.
Remember, if you get that Q down with Infernal Chains, the Camille actually gets pulled back mid.
Yes. Mid-hook shot.
Yeah, hook shot, wall shot, right?
Yeah, you can interrupt. So it's a very skill-based matchup. And for the Akali, I just don't think she wins that matchup
So we're back to
She can't
normal.
dodge out on ganks most of the time.
So we're expecting Maple in the top lane once again. We're expecting a better performance here from Suning. We're looking at a Suning who are against an EDG who have the fire in them. Heading towards match point. The dream run for EDG. Their never say die attitude is here once again in 2019 playoffs for summer. The man from EDG, his voice has broken. And that's probably the stress that came through when Suning started this series off. But we've gotten to a point where EDG, they're on that match point. Remember, they have to make the big run. They don't have championship points from spring. They have to fight their way up to third, you said, Clement, to get the placement towards our regional finals. Angel is in the brush. That hurt Maple in game 3, but he's towards the top side. He'll be spotted out, and it looks like the Akali will be taking the matchup.
Yeah, it does.
Or,
no,
okay. No, he will, because Maple, pick a side.
Which way do you want to go, guys?
They've made a decision. They're waiting to see where the Azir is going.
Well, the Azir's going mid.
Of course. But they're like, what if?
EDG has never swapped around. They're just, you know,
true.
they're a normal team where the positions go in their normal fashions.
So again, we're back towards Angel versus Scout, which has been the go-to.
Yep, but we have seen a swap in the runes so far. Angel actually going to go for the Comet this time.
Yeah.
A bit more guaranteed in terms of the damage.
SwordArt, that is not good. Great trade from iBoy and Meiko, dodging away from the dredge line. Oh no. Oh dear. This is the start. Oh dearie me.
I just want to point out that Angel, his Aatrox top has really been his, oh, this is Maple, excuse me. Never mind.
Angel's Aatrox top has been interesting. What were you going to say?
It's been his worst champion statistically.
Oh, no.
He's not had a very good time with it, and he does try to avoid it if possible.
Maples we've only seen for the first time this series, so.
Yep.
You said, I asked your opinion after game 1. I said, what do you think of his Aatrox? And you said, oh, pretty good. As Jinoo, really optimal trade there from the hookshot, wall shot. As we look at the bottom side, and that's on Smlz. Ignites down. Suning are in a lot of triumph. And Jiejie comes in, the body slam, just to get the barrel roll. It's first blood over to iBoy, and SwordArt is hating on life.
I gotta love this gank coming in. Oh, but Hacker might find something.
Really good hookshot, wall shot. We talked about that interaction, Clement. It's getting away from the infernal chains, and Jinoo does it with ease.
You can also get interrupted during your hookshot just by the Q, the 1, 2, 3 of the Qs, but didn't really get it down that time, and Maple is suffering so heavily in this matchup again.
What do we talk about? He's not a top laner. What is Jinoo? A top laner. Burn, baby, burn. Maple is out of it again. The electrocute Aatrox does not have a leg to stand on.
All right, here's the real question. Can Maple lose gracefully in this lane? There's no gank so far. This is purely Jinoo out-mechanicking Maple at this point. And, okay, here's our answer.
But here's the thing. Both Scout and Jinoo have teleport, so if you're Jinoo, do you continue going top? Do you swap around with Scout?
To be honest, I think you just leave the Aatrox, leave Camille into the top side. It's more for the gank potential rather than the lane matchup. Honestly, I don't feel like Jinoo, because he blind picked the Camille, is really afraid of any matchup that Suning could throw at us.
That's very true. I mean, at this point as well, it's more a mentality thing, just pulling Maple out of that lane. I think the Suning's like, okay, look, let's put you up against Scout the Azir. You'll have a better time. It'll be a more consistent lane. Angel confident he can take the matchup into Jinoo.
Yep, and just to point out, it was a very good early gank from Jiejie. It's 1-2-3 camp on the bot side. Did not go back for his Predators, so a bit of unexpected from the normal ganking route. And does find the first blood onto, I believe, Smlz, who also burned his flash.
Yeah, he did. Dangerous stuff as we're getting a closer look at Angel's rune choices now. You pointed out the Comet this game, but I'm going to have to hold on that because Jiejie's coming into the bottom lane once again. Smlz going to get knocked up. He only has the heal, but he's dead before he even gets in. Great body slam. Jiejie stops SwordArt in his track. Heal's going to be there. The Cathian Rain, a double kill. If it's not Jinoo, it's iBoy.
And this is why Krakus is so much more favored than the Sejuani in the LPL. Even though the warding was down, Suning still could not avoid that one.
Now Angel just taking the brunt of Jinoo as well. This is EDG switching on in this series. Game 3 and 4 have been nothing close to the first two.
Yep. Definitely at least seems like Angel is putting a stop onto the top lane bleeding.
Sure. But what about bottom lane, Clement? Let's have a look.
Not much anyone can do right here.
This.
Oh, really cool move by Jiejie.
Yes. That is better than a croissant on Christmas morning.
And what was amazing about that is he actually body blocked in front of the Nautilus to stop the hook. Yep. Because if he tried to get the hitbox onto Nautilus himself, Nautilus a lot of times still will take the hook shot and go
through
away.
the animation. Yeah. So I like that. I mean, bottom side 3 kills. Now iBoy is going to have himself a bit of a highlight performance here this game, and Suning a very bad start off here in game number 4. 2K go behind once again at 6 minutes in the game. Maple's getting bullied in this lane as well. Remember, lethal tempo is here, so he's just pushing Maple out. He doesn't need to poke. He just stays in combat.
What I really want to see happen out of this game is FLICKR use that level 6 Sejuani ult, get a kill onto Scout. This should be the easiest lane to go towards for that to happen. There's no cleanse here. So the Aatrox should be able to follow up with the World Ender, and something we lacked in the previous game.
Yep. I was just saying, if he gets there, Clement, because Maple has now been forced out of 2 different lanes. As iBoy and Meiko, they can do this by themselves. It's a man immune onto Smlz. He ignites there. Wow. Whoa. Make it stop. SwordArt is just unhappy. Look at FLICKR. He's like, okay, I'm down here. I'm level 6. Smlz's dead again. This has not been his series at all.
Yeah, it seems like you pluck a hole here and the dam bursts open in another location.
Oh no, Clement. Almost 2,000 gold ahead is iBoy. And Jiejie is going to follow FLICKR. They know he's in the bottom side.
We do see the pings going down, so definitely spotted there.
Oh, solo kill potential here. Angel goes into perfect execution. Jinoo looks to get out. He jumps back in for the re-engage. Jinoo knows he can take this. He's confident.
Still holding on to his ultimate as well, so Angel actually would have been forced to stay in that fight if Jinoo so choose to.
And if he went in with the second part of the perfect execution, that was could have been lights out. He had the level advantage, but Jinoo stays in lane with ult at the ready. While our camera this game is focused on the bottom lane, where Jiejie is focusing, where iBoy's almost hit level 6, where EDG want this first Infernal.
Massive gold lead at this point in the game. It's only 8 minutes in, 3.4K. We finally have FLICKR ticking 6, so this might be the comeback potential, but it needs to start with that Sejuani ultimate.
As Jinoo looks for the all-in once again. Grab for the Undying Camille. Great here for the trades as Angel at half health. Yeah, they're going to be doing this by himself.
Yeah, EDG are just that far ahead. They don't even need to pull that many members away from the laning phase. Both the bot side lanes have that much priority.
I want to explore an idea with you, Clement. An idea that I talked about with Raz on the very last day of the regular season, where there are 2 types of teams in the LPL. There's one where if they find themselves at a deficit, they find themselves with losses, they will stop, they will slow down, rethink, and think of another plan. As Jinoo, hang on, hold that thought. There's other teams who will fall behind, and what they will do is keep fighting. Like the IGs. This is what Suning want to do. They want to keep fighting. Scout with an easy ultimate, the World Ender from Maple, but Shurima shuffles out. Suning want to keep fighting, even if they're in that deficit.
That's their only option at this point. I like the idea to go for the mid lane. They did get a tower shot on that, but no flash burned from Scout whatsoever. He's going to stay relatively safe. That does not change the situation.
It does not. Again, we look towards one member in this team, Suning Clement, and while FLICKR needs to be influential in this game, and he has got 20 CS up, by the way, it's Angel, who's had the most stable lane, who isn't behind 20 to 30 CS as the other lanes are.
I gotta say, Angel for me always been the best, has been the best performing individual on Suning.
Yep.
Even though you have big names like Maple, SwordArt, and Smlz coming from the bot side, it has been Angel in recent weeks that has been holding this team up.
Because for Maple, and I guess I'll lump in SwordArt with this, has been the adaptation to the LPL. Remember, if you don't watch the LMS, which I know a lot of you don't, LMS slower games, right? A lot slower, especially a team like Flash Wolves, in comparison to the LPL, where we have these bloody teams. There's been a lot that Maple and SwordArt have had to change to coming in onto Suning.
From what I've seen of Maple in the LMS, he was hands down the most important player, the best player in his position, and the best player overall in the league for a very long time. But coming into the LPL, the skill level is different.
That's also
Individual
true.
player mechanics is much higher in the LPL. Even the LMS coaches that I've talked to this split say so. It's very difficult scrimming against LPL teams.
And that's why for Maple, we still look towards 2020. If they can't make the near impossible run here against EDG in this Game 4 and take us to a Game 5 at the very least, then for Suning, we look towards that next year as iBoy. He's just walking back through mid lane. Look at Suning. They want something here.
Ooh.
But pings are going down. iBoy takes the safest route. So props to iBoy, who's got a large bounty on his head. He's not giving it over, and Suning won't be able to get anything.
I do like this idea from Suning, though, at least trying to test if EDG make mistakes here. Oh, but he does miss the W.
But SwordArt's going to come into vision here. He knows. Yeah, there we go. So, suspicion that Hacker's still nearby. Let's see. Because there's a level difference here with the AD carries. There's the item difference, of course, as well.
And Jiejie's coming down to help, so it's definitely very well known to EDG that this 4v2 is potentially coming. They're defending it quite well. And I love what EDG are doing right now. Look at the top side jungle for Suning. That is completely warded up. If Hacker ever goes to the top side, they can make a play on the bottom. And if Hacker's not there, then they just play defensive into the bottom lane and let the top side continue to bleed out.
Well, here he comes. Not going to be warded out, but Jiejie. That ward should spot him, right? I'm curious about toggle vision. Well, it's now. We know he's spotted out.
Yep, definitely seen. This is playing desperation for Suning.
Hello, Smlz. The issue is, if Scout roams, you are screwed.
Oh, I like that move by Jiejie. Takes no chances whatsoever. This is just a pushing gank.
Oh, just walks on in. Yeah, that's great. Riftail's going to be there. It's going to channel into this bottom lane turret. I mean, they're going to be able to push up, but that's still a full charge. Turret plating over to the support and jungle, so that'll push Suning back and that'll foil their plans.
EDG smell the scent of desperation a mile away. They dodge out on everything Suning has planned, and that's 30 seconds gone away from Hacker, who's been down here for a long time.
Yep.
Actually, longer than 30 seconds. He was here in the jungle as well.
Oh my god. Maple as well. I guess at this point I'm going to start listing players of Suning who are not having a good time.
You're going to have to list a lot of players. What I was surprised about is that Suning picked the red side, and they didn't really make use of the counter pick whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big question of ours, wasn't it?
I was thinking that maybe they had something that would be safer in the lanes that they were holding on to and they could show in the final pick. But actually they went for Nautilus in the final pick, which frankly EDG knew that they were going to go for once the support fans were coming in.
Good dodge there by Scout, by the way. Because Hacker is nearby, but Scout is just too big at this point. He's 40 CS up. Meiko walking in blind. Yeah, he's like, hello, goes in the quickness. He doesn't care because iBoy is so damn big. The ultimate locks him down, but out of the Glacial Prison into the fire as that's the Scout ultimate that blocks away Hacker. iBoy gets locked up, but SwordArt now flashes in. Maple almost dies. The explosive card gives a double over to iBoy. First it's Jinoo, now it's iBoy. Everyone gets their time to shine.
EDG seems like they're collecting achievements at this point.
Yeah.
For this game, it's going to be 100% kill share for Kai'Sa. See if they can get that completed.
Oh, it's a double Infernal as well, Clement, on a
boy.
Kai'Sa this accelerated. Look at Smlz. He should not be here. He has the flash, the heal, the ultimate. He pops one of them. The double Infernal goes over with a Mountain coming up next.
Yeah, and this is a lot of pressure on Smlz. You know, he's long been known as the best Chinese AD carry to never make Worlds. And it looks like this could be another year of waiting on the brink here.
Seems like it as Meiko walked into the rush. I mean, he was baiting at this point.
Yep, you can just see the difference in damage at this point. Maple can't get enough of it onto iBoy. iBoy able to just supercharge around the corners.
Really is Jinoo Part 2. I mean, that's what iBoy's playing at. He's almost got the Gwinsus at 14, 15 minutes in the game. Walking back to the bottom lane to collect whatever he can because at this point he doesn't need to be keeping up with CS with Smlz. He doesn't need to be taking over that much. He's got 6 kills. Being over 15 CS doesn't matter. It looks great.
I mean, definitely does at this point. And this is interesting that they're swapping Camille into the mid lane. So a lot more catch potential on that Camille with the hook shot. And it seems like EDG are trying to hasten the pace and finish this one off.
It also sends a message to Maple that you can't escape. Maple left lane, but Scout destroyed him. And then it's back to Jinoo just to finish him off.
You have to deal with your life's problems.
You got to face it head on. And Scout right now, I mean, that's what he's going to be doing, but I think he can 1v2 with ultimate available unless he walks in blind here. Scout, spider senses. Spidey. EDG's top laner, or mid laner rather.
Hacker's getting...
He just wants
getting a
something.
bit doubtful. He's like, is there a warrior?
Look at us here. Oh, there's the ult. Okay, that was easy.
Outplayed. Good dodge there. Scout definitely knew there was a possibility.
Yeah. Oh no, here comes the cavalry. Are you ready? They're going to pause on that though, because SwordArt and Maple are also making their way up. I want to explore an issue while we are kind of at this bit of a classic lull state. Mr. Clement Chu, hang on. Wait. Yep, Angel should not be here. He probably needs to leave. Now, the idea I want to explore is, you know, that Silas ban and why Suning had to ban away the champion that felt like it could have made this into a potential game 5. Jiejie is a great Silas jungle.
Yes.
The fact that they're on red side, you were exploring possibilities of like what they have to ban away, what they could actually achieve on the red side. I completely agree. It's been rough in this game, and I don't think we're going to get a chance to talk about it. Oh, maybe we will.
So we were thinking about Suning's champion pool, and their top lane champion pool consists of mainly ranged champions, Vladimir, Corki, stuff like that. And the best counters to that are typically Camille and Silas, because if a gank comes in, you can instantly just kill the ranged champion over and over again. That's why we saw Suning just ban those two over and over. Even though Maple might have had a fighting chance on it, they still were not willing to go into that part.
I think I'm kind of upset that I haven't seen the Twisted Fate here in this series, Clement.
Was completely left open.
Oh, Jinoo. Oh, hang on. This could be really good for Angel. Into the Hextech ultimatum, but Angel just slices through him. First kill on the board for Suning.
Wow, that's a big comeback there.
It's up to Angel. What do we say? I mean, Angel has been the heart of this series. He's been fed in multiple games now. And this time around, he's had a decent laning phase where he can contest the Camille, who just picked up Trinity for.
Good move on his part, but EDG, the script that I have for them is just taking that Mountain Drake uncontested and rolling it to Baron. I think the Baron's going to be the do or die point here.
Have a look at this again, Clement, because Jinoo was out, but Angel followed.
Oh, uses the flash early. Gets the extra move speed. Wow, that was such good use.
That's great.
Of the kunais. Get that extra.
The kunai?
Yeah, I think that's what the weapon's called, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I thought it was just shurikens. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sorry.
You get the extra movement speed walking away from your target that you've hit with an ability.
Sorry, I'm just a classic
then you just go
weeb.
back.
I'm just thinking Naruto. Like, oh yeah, the kunai.
Yeah, the point about just catching up to targets is you have to be in front of the target, because as moving away from it, you get the extra movement speed.
That's true.
So really good footwork there by Angel to catch up and just remain on the target.
You can see why he's picked up this Akali multiple times, and that's really why we haven't seen the Twisted Fate while that unique pick hasn't come through, because Angel has had the Akali each and every pick ban. So they haven't been playing the super mobile compositions. We haven't seen the Tarm Kench, the Twisted Fate combination.
All taken away by the draft.
That's right.
I actually think EDG's draft is incredibly smart. The heart and soul of Suning, even though Angel is their best individual player, has been SwordArt and his champions, and his ability to dictate where their members are. If you lock him down in lane with just something like what he's playing now, Nautilus, it makes him a lot less effective. He really needs to be roaming with the rest of his team. And you can do that with Yuumi. Even though she doesn't have a global ability, she can anchor onto other champions and join the fray.
And anchor onto the Twisted Fate. So.
Ooh, that was so spicy.
Yeah. EDG setting up for the Mountain Dragon though, Clement, and 19 minutes in, it's still a massive gold lead to triumph over, but Suning are preparing, they're looking for the engage, there's no vision back here, so...
Angel spotted though.
Yeah, Hacker's going to get spotted as well on top of this ward, so EDG losing priority, but they're just going to go mid.
It's a good call on Suning's bluff right here. Suning put themselves in a very bad position.
This?
I don't think you do.
3 in a turret. EDG just playing so well in these last 2 games, but now looking for the fight. Jinoo's going to go in. It's on to SwordArt. The pick, the vision control trumps over Suning again.
Jiejie closes the trap from the back, and Suning don't get any engage. They lose 1 member. Mountain Drake is on the next item as well. So this is really down to Angel. Can he snipe out iBoy? It really has to be iBoy at this point.
6-0. He'll get the bounty as well. But Dragon going down quickly as Hacker's going to get pushed out. He ults into the back of the pit. Jiejie is there. The Akali over the wall. It's secured. A Scout is low. They look for the mid lane. A Scout goes golden just in time as Jinoo and iBoy are cleaning up the back. Smlz now getting jumped on. iBoy has done the dirty work and Jinoo's done the rest. Into the body slam. The Akali has no hope. And EDG do it again. Now setting up the 9-0 Kai'Sa.
Yeah, and this game's going to end with minutes within the next Baron. This is going to be so incredibly fast with the Drakes that they've been able to acquire. Suning, they can't even inch towards their own red side buff whatsoever. Like, Camille and iBoy just flying back with the crowd control and the killer instincts should be able to wipe off multiple Suning carries. So they have a very easy way to start this Baron and just finish it.
I'm going to say something, Clement. I want your opinion. That this is the EDG in games 3 and 4 that make that miracle run, that make it all the way up and continue their world spree.
I have to say that this is a much better scouting effort from EDG than compared to the previous.
Been on point, really.
Yes, I mean in terms of the matchup. You know, they take away Suning's main component in SwordArt.
Again.
Just look at this fight. Angel has a very, very late entrance into the fight, and Scout with a good flash actually takes himself away from danger. So a lot of the carries from Suning are waiting around for that Zhonya's to end, but in the meantime, everyone else is able to converge, just clean up the kill. They're already 7,000 gold ahead in that fight. It's a bit of a cakewalk.
Now almost 9. Clement. Communication's been short up after game 1 and 2 as well. So.
Yes, Jiejie is much better.
Oh yeah, he needed
1.
time to work into the series, and that's why I'm glad we haven't seen Clearlove once again. It's still been the Jiejie show, the jungler that's worked his way up, and we got his highs here in this series. And we're getting the best of iBoy as well. That was our concern coming into this series, that iBoy, like his last couple of series in the regular season, was not playing well.
In all honesty, EDG did not look good after the first 3 series of the split. They started out 3-0 very strong, but later on they only managed wins against the bottom of the LPL to kind of get themselves in the position.
Oh no, Maple, return to the nightmare. The uppercut from Jinoo, he gets pulled back in, but Maple, I don't think you want that run for your life.
You can definitely tell that Maple, after the Infernal Trains comes in, he's like, I would reconsider.
Yes, I'm getting out of here. Jinoo wins the 1v1, and look at where Angel is. He's going to come in and try and find something. The perfect execution is there, but Angel gets popped. Explosive cast. Wow, EDG join hands, and together they form.
Yeah, that was a bet that Angel had to take. He was thinking EDG might have been around the Baron, but no, they were waiting for him.
And this, right now, is a long death timer onto Angel. 30 seconds, Clement. EDG is storming the base.
And look at where SwordArt is right now. There's no attempt to even defend this. SwordArt is using this opportunity, which I think is quite clever, to actually ward up the Baron.
Yep.
So that's actually a pretty cute move. They know if they want to get back into the game, it's going to be through that Baron steal.
One that Hacker really needs to pull out of somewhere. He's a level down, which is going to make it hard, but you're right, SwordArt is moving towards his top side, drops the ward. And now the control ward to be taken out by Scout. So we're a moment's notice from an EDG win or a Suning still.
This is a all or nothing play from Suning, and EDG, if they're aware of SwordArt's absence, they could actually just decide not to go into the Baron pit. They could frankly just finish this game without even touching it.
That's true. At this point, you could just leave iBoy there, because that's a 4-item Kai'Sa who's built super defensively, isn't going to take much damage, and can take this by himself. EDG moving back around, clearing out the vision. And Jiejie and Meiko by themselves are just looking for that pick.
Yep, they're setting up a very good vision area, clearing all the way until the second line of brushes.
I mean, look how nice this is. Jinoo's actually just going to walk into the brush, get the control ward. Meiko by his side. Meiko has always been pairing up. And that's what I love. He's not going for vision by himself. He's going out with the carries, the jungler, and iBoy is now going to take on an Akali in a 1v1. Angel's like, how do I get out of this, out of the shroud? He'll walk, but iBoy ults immediately. Over the wall, they find Angel and iBoy. He needed the support, but it still looked great.
Yeah, there's nothing much that Angel could do right there. I respect him for waiting as long as possible to kind of lose the plasma stacks, but at the end of the day, he still can't drop them.
Look at Scout, the respect for Baron. They've got mutual trust. But that pick Angel dies again, Clement, as Jinoo. Wow, the damage on the Maple. Now the Infernal Chains come in once again. Maple goes into the World Ender. Jinoo locks him down. There's Baron secured as a two-man knockup here from Meiko. The explosive cast sends them outward. And EDG with Baron in hand, they lose no one. They're moments away from ending this series and moving on to verse BLG.
And this is so important for EDG. They did not manage to advance in playoffs in the spring split. And to go out with so much history on the organization would be unthinkable. EDG are going to keep their hopes, most likely, alive.
I mean, at this point, Clement, look at the gold lead. It's 13K, 25 minutes in, 11-0 Kai'Sa. Like I said, Game 3 was about Jinoo. This one has been about iBoy and Jiejie walking to that bottom side. And on this Kai'Sa, you're going to have a triple Infernal. The Dragons have been laid out, the pathway set. EDG are looking to make the miracle run.
No comeback chances for Suning whatsoever. All I want is at least one good team fight. Give me another highlight from Angel.
Now,
and that's the best they can hope for.
A League of Legends game isn't over till it's over, but you're right. How hopeful is it here for Suning, who are on their last legs? Pushing in, EDG just need that one last fight. If Suning get themselves a glacial prison from Hacker onto someone, maybe, just maybe, but it relies on everything.
It's so hard to kill iBoy at this point. He knows he has a target on his back. Look at the amount of defensive items. That's GA, Phantom Dancer, and the stopwatch.
He's not dying, Clement. But look at this.
He will not die this time.
I mean, look at this push. EDG are moving topside, moving midside as well. iBoy starts hitting away at the turret. There goes the inhibitor and the turret in the top side as well. Inhibitor's now the pressure for EDG. Hacker goes in, he misses the Glacial Prison. iBoy goes gold and the fight begins. The final legs for Suning and SwordArt gets burnt down. Jinoo flashes in, gets the Hextech sweep with the Killer Instinct from iBoy. That's all she wrote. Smlz will die again. And Angel left to the wolves as EDG walk on in. Their playoff run, it won't end here. They'll finish round one. They'll move to BLG in an attempt to make their dream to Worlds once again.
EDG keep their legacy alive. That 6th world appearance is what they are looking for. The most storied team in the entirety of the LPL is going to continue their playoff run.
In fantastic fashion in Games 3 and 4, Clement Chu. In fantastic fashion, Jinoo gets MVP of Game 3, and we all know that the LPL loves kills, and the iBoy got tons of them.
He has to get that. Just massive performance, night and day from his regular split performance, and it finally shows you a side of iBoy that is dependable in a high-pressure situation. Not making many mistakes in this series whatsoever. In fact, I can't think of anything that he's done that would be considered outlandish.
Hands on their hearts, the bow comes through. And what a series from EDG. A Game 3 and 4 that you can be proud of. Heck, even the rest of the series from Edward Gaming was very commendable. And we're looking at Hacker here because he faced Jiejie, a player he's never played against before.
Yep. Coming in back from week 1, the main jungler of the regular split, Weiwei not starting here, and Suning, after this series, I think they're left with a lot of questions. It's already a small accomplishment for them after losing Longxing to make it then to playoffs. It is an improvement for Suning, but they do face the question that I brought up earlier. What do you do with Maple on the roster right now? Do you actually just make him a top laner? That's going to take a lot of time. Or are you going to find another top laner?
There's a lot of questions that I know for Suning over spring to summer. They made those changes. They looked for the adaptation through their roster, and I'm talking about BioBio. Oh, get that camera back. BioBio and Angel, Hacker, Weiwei. Now, bringing Hacker in, I know a lot of people will say, well, where was Weiwei for this series? Because we got to a Game 4, and they're like, nope, Hacker hasn't played really at all in the season. We're just going to play him through the entire playoff match.
Yeah, I don't think Hacker did a poor job necessarily.
No,
I feel like Game 2, you could point maybe like a bit of mishaps in the communication. But overall, the main thing is EDG's laning strength is still indomitable. It's not been questioned in this series whatsoever. We're talking about this repeatedly. Third best laning team in the entirety of the LPL, right behind FBX and Top Esports, and they put it on full display.
With their early game. Game 3 and 4, you saw the best of their early game. You're right, the lanes kicked ass.
They did.
And wow, like
a lot of people question, like, EDG, they're not very shiny in team fights, and they make a ton of mistakes throughout the rest of their games. How did they end up in 5th place? Well, this is how. They just crushed the laning phase so hard that the game becomes easy.
had some incredible games, much like this one. So for Suning, seemed too much to be handled. And it felt like the experience mismatch really came through at the end of this series as well.
Yeah, think about Jinoo. He's been playing behind the likes of guys like Marin and Acorn since 2016. And that's, you know, 4 years worth of experience in one role, while Maple's coming in basically on 4 weeks.
Into a new region throughout the whole year, has been developing and trying to move into the LPL.
I think it was really smart and probably necessary for Suning to make that move. They honestly did lack a bit of talent with Bew, Angel coming in, switching that up, throwing
I think Angel
got them
was
to
great.
playoffs.
Angel was great in this
Yeah,
series.
it got them to playoffs, but it's not enough to take them forward. That's basically what we have to say for Suning.
So look, we look towards 2020 for Suning because if you didn't tune in, man, we've got a lot of global people, so we've got to help them out. Here in spring, Suning didn't make playoffs. They're a super team that failed to perform.
Armada.
They make some big changes. They do make playoffs, but they don't have enough points, so they will not be able to make Gauntlet. It is impossible. But EDG, they could. They go up against BLG next coming.
Yeah, so this is very important for them. At least EDG are looking at to bag in 30 points for advancing here. Really important. Not enough to get them through the gauntlet, but if they find another win against BLG, then they will at least overtake JD Gaming and
because of the summer priority, remember? Oh, I think they need 3rd.
Yeah, they need 3rd. So
There's
still not able. Still not able to take over JD Gaming, but they will be a bit closer. And BLG versus EDG is a super interesting one. If you've seen their bases, they're right next to each other, and they're the two teams that, you know, have the most connections with each other, really. So this is really like a battle between brothers. BLG was the former IMA team before they, you know, sold the organization over. Yeah, so this is one where you see a lot of funky band picks just happening across the board because they know each other so well. The tricks have to go deeper and deeper.
And you get some really good solo lane matchups as well. With EDG playing to that level, you get excited for Jinoo versus ADD. You get excited for, you know, iBoy versus Jin Chao as well. There's a lot to be talked about these two, but sticking to EDG for now, I mean, when you have games like that, Scout not being in focus just shows you how the depth of talent extends over EDG.
Scout was their best player throughout regular season,
and he
didn't get any camera shots that game. The rest of the lanes just took over, so that's really impressive to see what they can do against it. And I think this organization are so interesting because even though EDG is the older brother in this situation, they actually have the younger roster. And BLG are looking like the ones who are more mature, play the cleaner games, and it looks like it's going to be EDG trying to upset them during the laning phase once more. Turn ADD and put a B in front of that name. That's exactly what Jinoo's going to try and do.
I love that we get out, you know, Korean tops versus Korean mids as well, remember? So
God, Korea makes the best top laners. I don't know what they do to their top laners, but
they have good top laners. Koreans, you know, they're good players, right? So you shouldn't be saying that on LPL. We gotta. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they are. It's true.
Yeah, even in the LPL itself, if you look at you know, who are the flashiest of the top laners and the more carry-oriented style of the top laners, it's always been the Korean top laners. You know, it's Jinoo follows very much in the tradition of the Shy and Marin ahead of him. We actually learned from those guys. So I want to see how this blossoms up, and it's going to be a very different matchup between ADD and Jinoo.
I know it's a larger conversation, like one that you and I can have about, you know, depth of talent. For EDG, MVP thoughts. This game, iBoy.
iBoy for sure.
iBoy for sure. Okay. Well, you know LPL, it's kills, and you're like, yes, we'll give it to him. Jiejie started that off.
True.
Some really intelligent gank paths here in this game.
I like the way he did his first early gank, just going from, you know, camp to camp. He's level 3 in the bottom side here. What we see him doing consistently is red buff into the Raptors and then coming down towards the bottom lane. So that's something that throws off a lot of teams in terms of the timing. Usually it's the red, the Krogs, and then you go to the other side of the map. But he got that early gank, punishing Suning for pushing their lanes earlier on in this series, and it happened multiple times. So I think that's still a big strength that teams going up against EDG have to look towards, is just how to prevent that early gank. Because this is their one trick in playoffs. They always pull the same trick in playoffs.
And if it was clear love, he'd do the same thing. It'd be the level 2 gank down the bottom lane anyway.
He did so many variations of the level 2 gank against RNG through the years. It's actually ridiculous. So he did the red buff into straight bottom lane gank.
Into the lane gank.
Into the lane gank, into the first brush gank. He did the double buff into the bottom lane gank, and he did the 2 camps. It's just insane how many level 2 ganks
and Jiejie's like, you know what? I'll learn your style. I'll learn from you. Because Jiejie, remember, 18 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He's super young. He's already looking this good. And when we see Jiejie like play 4 games in a row of Grog, he's like, well, it should be telegraphed by now. But it got better and better as we went along.
Definitely. This series actually turned out great for EDG because not only did they stomp it convincingly, they didn't really show many of their late game strategies and what they looked behind 30 minutes. If you watch the last 2 games, you learn nothing. You actually learn nothing about EDG. You're just like, oh, they're good players, but what do they do late?
they got a lead. That's right. What do they do late? We didn't see the late games, at least in the last 2. But iBoy will be your MVP after that one, Clement. No big surprises. Yep, Nana. Like, that was a big game for iBoy.
Yeah, I really want to see iBoy develop further. He was kind of the young, new, flashy AD carry coming out of the LPL, but then Jiejie Love kind of stole his thunder in 2018. This year is a great time for him to finally shine and find his place, solidify his place against alongside the great AD carries that EDG has produced. You talk about Name, you talk about Def.
Yep.
There's a long list of great players and a bottom side focused team like EDG.
I'm glad we got to see that quick body slam there before as well.
So
that
sweet.
It was sweet from Jiejie, but it continued to pile on. iBoy was 4-0 before you knew it, and then we got into these big skirmishes where iBoy just played them so damn well.
Key thing for me is that you didn't see EDG actually running a lot of kill lanes this time around. They were much more able to coordinate with their jungler and Jiejie to get what they wanted out of lanes. In the regular split, it's been a lot of Volibear. And I hate to say this, but Volibear has not had a great win rate whatsoever, even on Meiko. So they played a much riskier style, I would say, in the regular split. But this series, they were willing to slow it down with the Ezreal, even force the Ezreal ban, and then go for the Kai'Sa plus Rakan.
Yeah, the Rakan on Meiko, I have to say that Meiko had a great series in total. I mean, like, when Meiko's not on time Kench, not on protection duty, the Rakan is magnificent, and I rate him as one of the highest here in the LPL. It was his clean executions alongside iBoy, who, at the end, I was like, yeah, he's 1v1ing in a car. Like,
yeah, this one was very unfortunate.
Look at this.
I didn't know the plasma stacks would stick on for that long.
Yep.
Just trying to wait that out. Still couldn't get it out.
Well, we'll talk to someone about that, because that doesn't seem fair, does it? Doesn't matter. You were dying anyway, so.
True.
I mean, that's a great way to finish the series here for EDG when you look back at iBoy having a better performance. Just to reiterate what we said in cast, which was iBoy did not have a great last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks. The inconsistencies were flying, and iBoy actually just looked bad.
Yeah. This is the first time that we're seeing EDG kind of strengthen into playoffs over a period. I don't think that was fair to say in Spring Split whatsoever. So I want to see how EDG has kind of evolved over this period of time. They did pick up Hart as the coach to kind of shore up their drafting strategies during the long BO5s. It's always very taxing on the coaches because they have to switch between what matchups are better.
Hart's got a lot of experience, though, if you're talking best of 5s, right?
Yep, so this time, much better job on that side. I'm so excited to see what they can do against
I'm excited to see who we get for an interview, Clement, because I'm going to rely on you once again. We're going to get an interview from EDG live at the venue here in Hongqiao. And, of course, we're going to throw over to that now or pretty soon, I should say, as it'll be iBoy, won't it?
I think it will be. Hello everyone, I'm EDG's top laner, Jinoo. Spoken in very accurate Mandarin. This is your first game in playoffs. Are you satisfied with your performance? I made a lot of mistakes, but I have to say I'm a little bit satisfied with my performance. Today, you lost game 1, and then you came back to win the last 3. How did you adjust yourself mentally to keep on progressing through the series? In the second series, we got a better composition. So if we just kept steady, we knew we would win that series. And for the following games, we just felt like we needed to be more decisive. If we were more decisive, we would win. Why did you feel like you were such a steady performer today? So what we realized is just that when we play steady, we had a much better win rate, and we decided to slow ourselves down a little bit. Today's ban picks seemed very similar on your side. Why is that? I feel like both coaches were quite stubborn, so it wasn't really about the compositions, it was just about the executions on both sides. In one of your games, your Renekton was astounding. Can you talk to us about the 1v3 under tower? In that situation, the communications was that they should sacrifice me, but after they came in, I realized they didn't have enough damage, and I was able to get the kills back. In Game 3, your game plan was also amazing. Why are you 1v3 today so much? So there was a lot of AP champions on the other side, and I just felt like they couldn't kill me. And I just wanted to disrupt their mentality, so I kept on going forward and playing the 1v3s. I wanted to make them really unhappy in Game 3 and make them go mental boom in Game 4, so that's why I played so aggressively. You killed the Akali with a single barrel around Raptors. Did you expect that much damage? No. I felt like they were very afraid of me, so I just wanted to put a show on them. Did you itemize for more a higher win percentage and more steadiness? And Jinoo said yes. Talking about the spirit massage, of course. Asking about the Riven, I really want to use it, but I'm not sure if I would be able to in the future. Game 4, you guys were playing more towards the bottom side. When you saw iBoy having 6 kills, what did you feel? It felt like I didn't need to do anything. It was very happy. Also very relaxing. This question might be a bit awkward, but you actually were solo killed by the Akali. What happened then? What happened was Akali, when she's chasing you and she gets in front of you, you just can't get away from her. So that was just my mistake, a small mistake I made. The next series you guys are going up against is BLG. It should be a very hard series. What are your views on it? They have very good mentalities. It's very hard to crack them. But I think if we beat BLG, we should be going into the finals. We know that Jinoo, you are a very hardworking student. So can you tell us what is the hardest Mandarin phrase for you? Candice, Candice just double checking what the answer was. So Jinoo saying that the hardest one is the inside jokes that Chinese people tell each other. Who helped you learn Mandarin? Well, actually, no one helped me out that much. I just learned a lot by myself.
那同时也是再一次感谢我们Jinoo来接受我们的赛后采访。那感谢我们的选手的回答，期待他们在之后呢一个 BO5的精彩的表现。
Well, good to hear from Jinoo, who his Chinese is very good. I mean,
Yeah,
been here
he's
for,
very fluent.
16,
4
17,
years.
18, 19. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
4th year. So, great
I
Chinese.
love players that are willing to kind of twist the knife against their opponents. Like, oh, why did I do this?
I love that. Like in game 3, it's like, oh, I just wanted to mental boom.
Mental boom them in game 4 if I do it that way. So,
I mean,
he's
he did
thinking
that.
ahead.
He did that. I mean, he mental boomed Maple.
Jinoo is a showman. That's one of his
Yeah.
main characteristics. That's why I actually felt he fit really well into LGD, because even though they weren't successful in getting wins, they did put on a good show.
That's right. God.
And now he's also winning too.
It's
Wow.
good to hear from Jinoo, especially after that series. We had a great series in total. We're going to have a look at tomorrow's matches because for EDG, they move up the bracket. But first of all, tomorrow, we have to look at IG and LNG. We start the right side of the bracket before coming back later towards the quarterfinals.
A lot of question marks in this one because IG has only been showing up in their very last series. Didn't even clinch playoffs until that last day. So we're not sure what form IG is going to be into. Hopefully it will be their better side. Same thing for LNG on the way. They only played with Funfun for the last 2 series. So this one is all about who can adjust better to the playoff run.
Let's see if Snake/LNG can make it past the first round here in IG. It's going to be a big task. BLG, EDG, the side of the bracket we did here today, that'll be the day after. So we get a better understanding in the quarterfinals. Remember, they're all best of 5 as well. So long way to go yet.
Yep, no wild cards, best of 3s in the LPL.
No way. We don't need best of 3, best of 1. It's all best of 5s all the time. But Clement, thank you for joining me. Thank you to our production team. That'll be it for tonight. We'll be back same time tomorrow for the other side of the bracket. IG, LNG. It's bye for now, but not forever.